What's going on YouTube? It's Matty Milligan, and today I want to manage your expectations for selling online, and we're going to talk about how much money you can expect to make realistically from e-commerce. This is sort of a loaded question because I don't know what sort of business experience you have previously. I don't know what sort of entrepreneurial ventures you've had in the past. I don't know what your budget is, and I really don't know what your life situation is right now. If you've never, ever sold anything online before, I feel that your first milestone and your first goal should be just making that first sale. If you've never sold anything online, that should be your first goal. It's just to selling that one product, getting that first order, even if it's for 1 cent, that should be your first goal. This is where 80 to 90% of people that get into e-commerce fail, is they can't make that first sale. So they see it as a setback, they get deterred, they lose motivation, and then that's when they give up. Once you've made your first sale, your second milestone should be achieving $1,000 a month in sales. Now, this is going to be easy if you sell a more expensive product that's over $1,000, because obviously you only need to make one sale to make that happen, right? But if you have lower price products, let's say, you're going to have to make a lot more orders or get a lot more orders in order to achieve that monthly goal of $1,000 a month in sales. What I would do is use that $1,000 and compare it to all your other business expenses. This is things like the cost of your products or the cost of fulfilling the service that you're selling. This can include things like your shipping costs. This can include all your overhead costs like software and maybe apps that you're using for your online store. This could be your credit card fees. This can include any sort of consulting fees and business registration setup and talking with a lawyer and accountant. Realistically, things like that. So those would be all your overhead and your business expenses. Then what you can do is, once you've figured out the total cost of all those overhead expenses, you can compare that to that $1,000. So let's say you're making that $1,000 in sales per month, and then you look at your overhead and you see that you're actually spending $2,000 a month. So obviously in this case you're losing $1,000 a month and you're in the red. But let's use a different example. Let's say you're making that $1,000 a month and then you're only spending $400 a month on all those overhead costs. You're netting $600 profit. So clearly that's a good business model, and from there you can scale the business. So you can go from there to $1,000 a month to, let's say, $2,500 a month, and then you calculate everything on the side and you're noticing that you're only spending $700 a month in business expenses. So you're making a decent profit at this point. So that's a scalable business model, right? It's not like you're basically spending way more money than you are to actually make money, because that's a losing model, and I've seen people do that, and I'm shocked that they actually continue with that model. So using that $1,000 a month, it's really going to calculate and let you see if you actually are a profitable business. Keeping your sales low at first, it's really going to help you figure out the fulfillment process of your business. So this could be shipping physical products to your customers, or this could be just delivering a service to your customer. It's really just going to help you smooth out all the kinks and figure out how to actually deliver the results for your customer, because that's ideally what you want to do. You want to make your customers happy so that the way they tell other people about how awesome your company is, and then that way more people are likely to buy your product in the future, and that will increase your sales. In all honesty though, when it comes to how much money you're going to make online, I can't really give you a firm answer. Results are going to vary. A lot of people give up very quickly because e-commerce is crushingly hard, but I think in a lot of cases they realistically just didn't put in the hard work. They didn't hustle! I've heard of cases before where people have their store set up for 3, 4, 5, 6 years and they haven't made a single sale. This could be for a number of reasons. Maybe they don't have a great product. Maybe they're just proud of owning an e-commerce business so they can tell their friends about it and they don't really care about making the sales. Maybe they're only making a certain amount of money and it's their high side hustle, so they don't have the budget to sort of pump the money into growing the business or actually doing any sort of marketing. Maybe they haven't even been marketing. So there's a number of reasons why people won't make their first sale. Having said that, and trying to scare you that it's hard to make sales, I feel that at the other end, there's really no limit to how much money you can make online if you put in the hard work. We're talking 7, 8, 9, heck, there might even be billion-dollar e-commerce stores that exist out there. And obviously, in most cases, these took years and years to build, and I'm sure there was tons of hard work from the owner or whoever the founder of that company was, but there's really no limit to how much money you can make online and how big a business you can build online. If you have this internal belief and this mindset that selling online is wrong and it's a scam and it's like selling snake oil, then selling online is not for you. Selling online is a legitimate business. There are so many legitimate businesses out there that exist because of e-commerce. So if you have this belief, then I would also deter you from moving forward. Obviously, fraudsters do exist in the world, but most people that run these businesses that you buy from online, they're real human beings and they really care about their customers. They value the experience they have and they really want to build a great community of like-minded people and make all the people that buy from them very happy and have a great experience overall. All the banks and credit card companies and payment gateways, they have so much power too to revoke any sort of selling privileges as well from merchants. So that's one thing as well. Even if there is a sketchy store out there that exists, they're really not going to be in business that long because someone's going to report them to the right authority, and that authority is basically just going to shut down their account, so they will never be able to sell online again. A lot of people also don't make money online because they just complain a lot about everything. They find an excuse for why they can't succeed. And in a lot of cases, it's about the software that they use. But it's realistically never about the software. You can always hire people that can build it for you as well, which is one thing I recommend if you're not great with technology. But a lot of people, they just think they can do everything themselves and they get very frustrated very easily. So you might just want to hire some people to do some basic things for you if you're not good at it. Really focus on your strengths. If you're good at creating your products and delivering your service, really focus on that and then outsource all the sales aspects of it and really just focus on the things that you're good at. And that's really going to help you succeed and actually make sales online. You are going to make mistakes in business as well. This is something that's inevitable, and the best thing you can do is when you actually make an error, you can figure out how to not make that error in the future. You can learn from your failures, you can overcome your setbacks. This is going to give you a lot of business confidence, and from there you can move forward with the business. Mistakes in business are really something you can mitigate. It's virtually impossible to completely eliminate them. So I would use those mistakes you make to improve your business and to learn from those experiences. What you also need to consider is how big a problem does your product or service solve? Elon Musk recently said you get paid in direct proportion to how big the problems you can solve, and you should probably listen to him because he's the CEO of SpaceX and he's the CEO of Tesla, and those are some pretty awesome companies that really took a long time to build. What he means is that the harder, the bigger, the more challenging problems you can solve for people, the more value you provide to society, and the more money you can make because of your skills, your knowledge, your expertise in that one specific area. Most people struggle severely with overcoming their problems and figuring things out themselves. So if you have a valid and a viable solution to their problem, you can charge a lot more for your products and services than other people in that specific market and industry. E-commerce should not be about how much money you can make online, though. It's not about making all this cash and hoarding it to yourself like Scrooge McDuck, where you can just dive into all these piles of cash. It's not about blowing all your money fast on fat whips so you can drive around town and people think you're cool. I believe that e-commerce should really be about how much value you can provide to society, how awesome a community you can build, and then finally making the world a better place overall. That's my 2 cents on how much money you can expect to make online. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I really appreciate you watching right until the very end. Do me a quick favor and like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time, this is Matty Milligan. Peace.